Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back with another episode of r/PettyRevenge. So, this was a while back during elementary school. I think we were doing a math quiz. Since it wasn't too formal of a quiz, us students were writing in front of each other. Understanding the content well enough, I was working ahead and finishing the quiz pretty quickly. However, I noticed that this kid would look over at me in my quiz and write on his own. Now, I was a fairly good kid and did things when told. However, this kid was definitely cheating, so I felt the need to take action. Instead of telling the teacher, I quickly, but not suspiciously, scribbled down wrong answers as well as casually placed the paper in front of me after finishing. The kid wrote down most of his answers as I wrote and after I put it in front of me. However, as soon as he went to the teacher, I erased my wrong answers and actually continued to work on it, having some time to do so. The kid comes back a few minutes later with X's on his page, and I look up to him without batting an eye to his paper. "Did you get everything wrong?" 10-year-old me said, victoriously watching the shocked expression on this kid's face. I didn't get in trouble, got a good mark, and he got to redo the quiz. Hope that taught him a lesson. I hope he learns that lesson at 10 years old instead of later on in life, so there you go. My significant other never, and I mean never, takes his cups to the sink after he uses them for the nightly glass of water or tea. On his nightstand, there is always 5 or 6 cups, and they continue to accumulate. For a while, I would just take them to the sink. Then I began asking him to. It matters so much to me because we don't have a dishwasher, and I'm the one that does the dishes. When he lets them accumulate, I'm spending 10 extra minutes trying to clean the mold, etc. out of these glasses and get more and more aggravated with each glass. So after about a year of this, I have started to hide them. If he brings 5 to 10 cups to the sink, I wash them and hide them. We now have 3 cups in the cabinet that are for use. Needless to say, now the cup gets brought to the sink every day. Now, I don't know if this would just be considered under a life hack, but I feel like I would have amended this one a little bit to be more like, for every cup I picked up, it would go missing after I cleaned it. Because, teaching him that when he brings the cup to the sink they disappear doesn't seem to be a positive reinforcement. This is gonna be short and sweet. I was in 6th grade and the locker above me belonged to a random other person that I never met. One day, I found he had stuffed his shorts partway into my locker. Not enough that he couldn't get them out without too much trouble, but enough to make me late. I was mad, but assumed it was an accident because I'm an idiot. Next day, it happens again. This time, when I got my locker open, I grabbed his shorts drawstrings and put them in my locker. Then I tied a knot with them, a knot big enough so he couldn't get it out of my locker. The next day, the knot was still there and the drawstring was cut. He never did it again. Okay, but why would someone put their shorts in someone else's locker partway? That doesn't really make sense, but good revenge. I took my kids to the soft play yesterday. After 2 hours of living heck, I walked them back to the car, only to find that some BMW parked so close to my driver's side that I couldn't open my door. Girl, I'm bored. I'm sorry, okay. I took my kids to the soft play yesterday. After 2 hours of living heck, I walked them back to the car, only to find that some BMW parked so close to my driver's side that I couldn't open my door, let alone squeeze between. I had the kids both enter from the other side and was just about to climb over the passenger seat myself, which isn't fun in a small car, when I stumbled across my emergency ketchup. As there was loads of room on the BMW's driver's side, I quickly went over and rubbed some ketchup to the underside of his or her door handle. Hope you enjoy sticking your hand in ketchup when you get into your car, a-hole. I have emergency napkins, and I think I'm starting to accumulate emergency straws. But I haven't gotten to emergency ketchup yet. I live with 2 roommates who drive me nuts. It's the normal annoyances that come with sharing a home with other people. They can be loud when I'm trying to sleep, they never take the trash out, buying basic household supplies is a foreign concept to them, they see nothing wrong with leaving hair in the shower drain, etc. These are all things I can deal with because in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. Lately though, I've been working really long hours, and so I tend to get home kind of late. By the time I get to the gym and come home for the night, it's around 10, which is when I like to toss my laundry in the washer so that it gets done while I shower and get ready for bed. Well, my roommates have taken to doing their laundry at that time, despite the fact they have ample time to get it done before I even get home. I tried to work around this by asking them to leave the washer free for 2 specific nights a week so that I could get my stuff done. The problem is, these people literally do laundry 5 days a week. I wish I was exaggerating. The amount of water they waste is insane. And would constantly forget which nights I asked them to keep the washer and dryer free. So sometimes this meant I would have to stay up later than I would like so that I could have clean work clothes for the next day, but again, I just deal with it because I just don't have the energy to fight it any more than I already have. They've now decided that taking their laundry basket upstairs to their room is too much of a chore, so it has just been sitting on top of the dryer. Clothes are constantly spilling out of it, and anytime I find a lone sock on the floor, I toss it into the tiny crack between the washer and the dryer. They can see their socks stuck there, but are too lazy to do anything about it. Every time I see them walking around in mismatched socks, I swear an angel gets its wings. I approve. I approve of this petty revenge, 100%. This next one is actually a viewer-submitted petty revenge, and it's petty revenge in that this person gets kind of revenge on themselves, so let's check it out. This happened back in the 80s when I was a teen. I had a car with a small radiator leak. It was slowly getting bigger when I saw an ad that said free coolant system inspections, free radiator repair estimates. Seemed like what I needed, so I gave them a call. I was told it would be one of 3 things. If it could be patched, it would be $50. If it could be recored, it would be $100. If it had to be replaced with a refurbished radiator, it would be $200. But I had to bring it in and leave it with them to know for sure. I arranged a ride and was told they would call me in a few hours. I didn't hear from them for the rest of the day, so I called them the next afternoon and was told, "That radiator is shot, you'll need a new one, $200. Considering the size and location of the leak, that surprised me, so I said, "No thanks, I'll be by to pick it up later." He sounded upset, but I assumed it was because he was losing a sale. When I got back to the shop, I was greeted by a large man with a big smile on his face. This was not someone I had seen the day before when I dropped the car off. He gave me a, "Howdy, what can I do you for?" I explained who I was and that I was here to pick up my car. The smile washed right off his face. Without saying a word, he turned around, grabbed the keys from the hook on the wall, and threw them at me. They bounced off the counter and landed on the floor behind me near the door. I picked them up and left. I was confused as to why he was so angry. That is, until I got home and popped the hood. Then it all became clear. He had recored my radiator without my permission, repainted it, and was going to sell it back to me as refurbished. This also explains why he didn't call me back right away. He was waiting for the paint to dry. It was still tacky. The silly part was, if he said it needed to be recored and it would be $100, I would have said sure. But because he tried to cheat me and get an extra $100, he got nothing. I kept that car for another 5 to 6 years before selling it. Never had any more problems with the radiator. That shop went out of business a couple years after this happened. Made my day a second time. You know, it is nice to hear that eventually some of these people kind of get what's coming for them. I love how they thought that just repainting it would make it seem like a completely new one. Oh man. Well, I'm glad they got what they needed, and it ended up being free from people who were probably completely scamming other people as well. And thank you so much for submitting your story for me to read. Anyway, that is actually going to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, and let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to submit any stories for me to possibly read, go ahead and send them to ksanonymous@gmail.com. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!